We are back with another edition of Smart Driving Cars. Thank you for spending time with us. Great to see you again. I'm Fred Fishkin, along with the Faculty Chair of Autonomous Vehicle Engineering at Princeton University and co-author of the book, The Real Case for Driverless Mobility, Alain Kornhauser. Hi, Alain.
Hey, good morning, Fred. Do we remember how to do this? We, we used to do them every week. What the heck happened?
Summer vacation, I
Well, I
guess.
guess a little bit of a pivot.
Right. Well, that's what's on top in the edition of Smart Driving Car newsletter just out. Time to pivot. An overview of really what's been taking place this summer, Alan.
Yeah, I guess we've been doing smart driving cars, e-letter and podcast. What's this number?
Oh,
279,
370.
379 or something like that. I mean, whew, we almost look like SpaceX launching rockets. I mean, we're doing so many of these, but yeah, I think it's we've been talking about all this stuff for now 12 years or more, and it's really time to do something instead of just talk about it. So we've been spending this summer getting us prepared to do something, give some rides, basically do what we describe in the book instead of it's about time that we walk the walk and don't just talk the talk.
And in the newsletter, you talk about this coalition of the willing that you're putting together.
Yeah, well, I mean, in through the years, a number of people have sort of gravitated towards this area, and I think all of us seem kind of frustrated that not more has happened, that we are still here at zero, and I guess if nobody else is going to do it, or if nobody else, or so few other people are going to do it, we're going to do it too. Why not?
Interesting. And you do have a link to email in if people are interested.
Well, yeah, I mean, sure. Look, this takes a village. It probably take more than a village. This isn't this isn't just a one person thing. It's non-trivial, as we've all found out over these last at least 20 years, if not. You know, I tried to bring automation to improve mobility in Trenton. I think I started in 1972, so it's been 52 years. Oh my goodness! I mean, that's like nuts. And they're and gotten and I'm still at zero. Oh, what a failed career. Oh, but anyway, maybe I'm not done. We're not done.
Things are moving.
So
And of course, it all ties into the book, The Real Case for Driverless Mobility, which you co-authored with Michael Senna. Uh,
yeah,
and
it fits in with that,
yeah.
which is a progression, which fits in with the New Jersey Task Force on Automated Vehicles, which fits into all the smart driving cars, 12 years of e-letters, which fits into really the DARPA challenges were the big turning point, which goes back to then all the way to, I guess, 72, 71, with personal rapid transit. It's been an evolution. A lot of failures in that evolution, a lot of work, a lot of failures. It's time to get some successes.
The book, we should remind people, is available on Amazon, and there's an audio book a whole lot cheaper too that people can get on Audible.
Yeah, and you don't have to know how to read. I mean, it's great for me. You don't have to put the effort into reading. You just sit there and listen. Whoa, I mean, and cheaper. I mean, do things get any better than that?
Or listen while you're driving or using the latest FSD if you need to.
or it's while you're riding. I mean, whatever, you know. Anyway, um, just trying to put the information out there.
More from the newsletter, Alan. Bloomberg has a report headlined, "With self-driving vans, Hamburg has tried to make microtransit work, and the plan is to launch a fleet, I think, of up to 20 autonomous electric minibuses initially to offer free on-demand rides in a 20 square mile area." Initially, I guess is
Initially, you have to pick up the initially. You read up to that far, and you say, "Oh my goodness, these folks read the book," or maybe I don't know. Not that the book is that's the only time that idea has been put out there, but they read the book until you read going to do it for free. And you say, "Oh my goodness, maybe they didn't read the book," but then it's really initially for free. Then like everything else. It seems that everything else that somebody wants to promote, the initial one's free. So that's a tried and true, I guess, marketing, promotional, introductory system. So go great, but it does sound very, very positive. Volkswagen being involved, and I know Volkswagen's been playing in this field. Certainly, they were the Stanford team, I guess. I mean, in the DARPA challenges. So yeah, great.
they do
Welcome.
have their new electric minibus.
Yeah, I
arriving.
mean, I wish I could get one. I'd love one, or maybe I just need to go to the dealer. I don't know. Are they going to put the driverless tech on that for me? If so, and really want to talk to those folks about
Painted
what we're
orange,
doing.
peace symbol.
Well, why not? Actually, on our drive back from May's Landing yesterday, we passed a classic VW van on the side that looked like it had a for sale sign on it. We almost did a U-turn and went back and buy it and bought the damn thing. If it's there next Saturday when we drive down there, we're just gonna go and probably buy the darn thing. I don't know. Look like one of those really classic and powder blue or whatever. Uh, really want one.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
From 24/7 Wall Street, the race for self-driving dominance, Alphabet's Waymo versus Tesla. And the piece points out Waymo is up to 100,000 trips, widely reported now, 100,000 trips a week. And it compares, I guess, this to Tesla's approach.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that they picked Tesla. What happened to all the other folks that were supposedly competing with Waymo? What what? I mean, how did Tesla earn to be the competition to Waymo? I guess we all realize Waymo is, at least in the U.S., out there in front by a lot. But my goodness, why isn't it being compared to GM? Why isn't it being compared to Zoox? Why isn't it being compared to Hyundai? Why isn't it being compared to the Chinese? Why isn't it being compared to VW and what's happening in Hamburg? What? I mean, Tesla's done nothing so far. They canceled their August 8th. Who knows whether or not October is canceled or not? What? Anyway, whatever.
I guess
I'm
what they're
sure. I'm
talking
sure
about
the
is
others. I'm sure the others aren't happy. What? How did we all of a sudden get pushed down the list? What? Anyway, I don't know.
I guess that they're
Interesting.
talking about all the data that Tesla collects, mapping AI, et cetera. But it's not
I mean,
providing
mapping.
not
I mean,
providing robotaxi rides, that's for sure.
yeah, right. I mean, uh, sure that what it is. I don't know. Never. I just thought it was interesting. Anyway, whatever.
Brad Templeton in Forbes had a piece headlined, "Waymo's sixth generation robotaxi is cheaper. How cheap can they go?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess they've decided to go where it's inexpensive. Go to a Chinese vehicle manufacturer to manufacture their vehicle. I guess that's what Brad was trying to say, maybe, and has some numbers in there about Baidu having a $28,000 robotaxi. Okay, geez, does the sensor suite on a Waymo itself cost $28,000 to get it? Maybe not. I don't know. Some discussion again. Great. But it seemed to me that some of the implication is that next time you and I go into the showroom to buy a vehicle, we're just going to buy a robotaxi. Why? Because it's going to have all the stuff that the conventional 55 Chevy or something doesn't have, or what? Really? Okay. Robo taxis are going to be cheaper than just the conventional car that we drive. Okay, I guess. I don't know. My head is spinning. I hope so. What the hell? Go buy a bunch of them. Give a bunch of people rides.
These are, I think, the Zeekr vehicles.
Yeah. Who knows? There are all these folks out there. Hey, if you have a $28,000 robo taxi for sale, call me. I'll pay you 30.
From the San Francisco Standard, Alan, you include this: parents hush hush back to school hack, sending their kids off in a Waymo.
Why is it hush hush? Why is it surprising? Kids need rides. And who's giving them rides today? Parents. As I've been saying forever, in the morning here in Princeton, the average vehicle occupancy is like 0.8. Why? Because all the parents are giving their kids rides to school and then coming home or being diverted. So actually, take the kid to school, come home, average vehicle occupancy for those two vehicle movements is 0.5. You put a bunch of 0.5s in all with all the 1.0s and maybe the one or two actually shared rides that are that are out there. On average it's 0.8. And all of a sudden, my goodness, instead of, it is really good parental time to take kids to school. I took my kids to school. We always had a wonderful discussion. I guess maybe not. But to have that available, oh my goodness.
Yeah, my assumption is elementary school kids are not using a Waymo, but older kids, why not, right? The trust factor.
Why not elementary school?
Well, because of the
Talk to me, Fred.
behavioral issues and such. When you take a second or third grader, I mean, very often a parent wouldn't want them to be alone in a vehicle or even with another child.
Oh,
I would think.
I don't know why. Really? They're going to be with another child in school. They're going to be with another child in the play in the schoolyard.
But there is supervision there, and there wouldn't
No,
be.
there is
Well, I guess
supervision.
that's
I
the
don't
question.
know. There wasn't when I was going to school. There wasn't supervision. Well, I don't know. What? What's everybody afraid of here? Seriously,
I don't think it's the vehicle. It's more the
I don't know.
trusting in the behavior of kids alone in a vehicle. That's the point.
Okay, you don't trust your own kid.
In elementary school,
You
the
haven't
car alone,
raised your kid to
I don't.
behave when they're by
Of course,
themselves. What? I don't know. Seems like it's a parental problem. I don't know. I'm asking questions. I'm asking questions.
appropriately.
what are you protecting the kid from? From themselves? You don't let them in their rooms by themselves? They really do destroy the room every time they get in there? Okay, but if that's your kid, you know it because you see the room destroyed. Seems like that's a parental problem, but oh my goodness, one couldn't blame anything on parents. Oh my goodness, sir. Oh,
From
boy,
CNBC.
they shouldn't let me out, right, Fred? They just shouldn't let me out. Well, yeah,
From CNBC, Chinese tech company Baidu is reporting slower growth in its Apollo Go robotaxi service. The number of rides grew by 26% in the first half of the year this year. That's a drop from 184% growth a year earlier, but you point out in the newsletter, of course.
who writes this stuff? Guess what? When they started, the growth from zero to having three trips is infinite increase, percentage increase. So the next time you report it, guess what? The percentage increase is going to be less. What? All of a sudden we should pull our hair out because my goodness, oh, the percentage increase is less. What? I don't know. That's why I have to stop. I have to stop commenting on this stuff. It's what is written out there. You just wonder what is going on. So, that's why we took some time off this summer, and I stopped complaining about, what's written out there and all the hmms. It was cute for a while. It's just lost its luster. And people, I hope the people just read things and scratch their heads themselves. I don't want to point it out to them. I don't want to sit there and complain about the way some author puts some information out there and tried to put perspective on it. I guess it's time that we stop talking the talk and start walking the walk.
Focus is on making things happen. And along those lines, the Florida AV Automated Vehicles Conference is coming up really soon.
Right, and it's coming up in 2 weeks. Intend to be there. Intend to talk about, how do we actually start giving some rides. We are very much at the beginning. It is impressive that, in fact, Waymo is giving 100,000 rides a week. Absolutely. But every day in the USA, there are 1.1 billion rides. And essentially, all of them are being made in cars. About half of them are being made, or I should say, 1.1 billion trips that are made or should be made, because that does include latent demand, people that unfortunately, because they couldn't get a ride, didn't go. I put the word unfortunate on that because it is unfortunate. Um, those of us that have access to rides, um, I think, get a lot of benefit out of taking those rides. Heck, the only reason you take a ride is to improve your personal utility. Sure, there are some joy rides you take just for the ride. That's a trivial number. Most of them is because of place and time utility. Instead of being where you are, you want to be somewhere else. Why? Because you're going to be a happier camper being there. And to become the happier camper, you have to put up with the ride that gets you there. And if you have the wherewithal, that ride's pretty great. If you don't have the wherewithal, that ride is unachievable in many cases, and therefore you don't benefit from going someplace. And the whole idea of the book is to try to find a way to make it so that as the folks who don't have a ride can get a ride, to make them happier campers, to have them for themselves a better life. And seems as if this technology should be able to deliver some of those rides. But the 1.1 billion every day, half of them people who can have a car, afford a car, have the ability to drive a car, have the age, all the other things to drive a car, no problem. For the other half, somebody's got to give them a ride. And most of it is like these parents giving their kids a ride to school. That's fine. But maybe sometime, maybe it's better that the kid get to school another way. Like me, I walked 27 miles uphill in the snow both ways.
I think I only had to do 25.
Oh, detail, Fred, detail. But seriously. And so that's what this is all about. This is what it's been about. And but when you look at 100,000 a week compared to, geez, you should be out there providing 100 million rides to people who really would change their lives a day in the USA. So 100 million a day versus 100,000 a week. We are still at the starting line. The gun has gone off, but the smoke is still rising from the end of the barrel. We are so much at the start, and now we're worried about who's ahead. Geez, there's a lot of room up there for somebody, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of leapfrogging. Because if you think at the very start of anything, what did the start of the cell phone look like? Where are those folks these days? Where's Nokia? Where's HTC? Where's Windows Mobile?
Radio Shack had a nice big brick to take with you in the car.
Radio Shack, and Radio Shack, does it even exist? Radio Shack itself even, and here who's in the lead right now? Who? I don't know. I think things are going to change, but maybe not. Maybe I'm just goofy. Most people think I'm goofy, Fred. So it's okay.
But things are starting to move, and this
is when we're happy to be stirring it up.
Exciting. Well, you can find more at smartdrivingcar.com. That's where you can find us. Also on Spotify, TuneIn, Apple, Google, Amazon, wherever you turn to for podcasts. You can find my tech reports at techstination.com. I'm Fred Fishkin along with Alain Kornhauser. Thanks for listening or watching. Please continue to stay safe.
Yep, and I meet my freshman advisees today at lunch, and we're starting a new semester here at Princeton. I won't tell you what year this is of my doing this, but it's more than a few.